Everyone. I thought it might be nice to start at the beginning of Microsoft Excel. So this session is going to be starting from the beginning of Excel for all of you who are new to Excel and maybe don't even know what it is used for. So that's where we're going to begin today. So the first thing we're going to talk about is to understand what Excel is used for. So it is very versatile. It's used for a lot of different reasons, but here are a few of the main ways that we can use Excel. The first way is to crunch numbers. So to create budgets, tabulate expenses, analyze survey results, creating charts, creating a variety of customizable charts such as bar graphs, pie charts, organizing lists in a row and column layout to store lists efficiently, manipulating text, so to clean up and standardize text-based data, access other data, being able to import data from other sources, creating graphical dashboards, which allow you to summarize a large amount of business information in a concise format, creating graphics and diagrams, using shapes and smart art to create professional looking diagrams, and automating complex tasks. So tedious tasks can be reduced to a single mouse click with Excel's macro capabilities. So let's first take a look at some of the screen parts, some of the elements in our screen. So at the top, we've got our title bar right up here. We've got our search. Over here in the upper right-hand corner, we have our window control. We have our minimize, maximize, restore, and close, our share, our comments. And then clicking over here, starting with home, we've got our tabs. So from home until help, those are your standard tabs. And then notice as I change each of these tabs, it also changes the ribbon here. This is your quick access toolbar. You can change the location of this just by clicking on the drop down, showing above the ribbon, puts it up at the top, and clicking, showing below the ribbon, shows it down at the bottom. Other things you may wish to know where they are located, we have our column headings starting with A. We have our row headings starting with the number 1. We also over here have our name box. We have our formula bar. Over to the far right, we have our vertical scroll bar, our horizontal scroll bar. Down here, we have our zoom, where you can zoom in and out. Over here on the left, we have our sheet tabs. And that's essentially what our window looks like. Next, we're going to talk about how to navigate through our workbook. So normally what you may want to do is be able to use your mouse to click around. So as you click on different cells, you're going to notice it's going to get a green border around the edge, showing you that that is the active cell. So I can click anywhere with my mouse to move the focus of that active cell to anywhere I would like in the workbook. Now, as far as movement, I can go over here and use the scroll bars with my mouse, and I can also use this horizontal scroll bar. As far as keyboard shortcuts, there's a few of them, and I'd like to first use the arrow keys on the keyboard. So if I click over here, for example, on A16, I can use my arrow keys to move to the right, down, up, to the left. I'm going to click on A1. I'm also going to use the tab key. That's going to move me to the right. Shift tab moves me to the left. Enter moves me down a row. Other keyboard shortcuts include Control Home, which moves you to the very beginning cell in your workbook. So I'm going to click over here, press Control Home. That brings me to cell A1. Control End brings me to the last cell, in this case, B14. Let's have a discussion about the difference between worksheets and workbooks. So think about a worksheet as a place to store related information. So in this example, we have our sales chart and our table on one single sheet. Now you can have multiple worksheets in your workbook. In fact, it's unlimited. So if you think of the workbook as being a container or a folder that stores multiple worksheets, that will help you to understand a little bit better about how Excel is structured. the last thing we're going to talk about is something called contextual tabs. So as I am clicking on different elements of my worksheet, different menus will appear. So I'm in a table right now, which means I get this table design contextual menu. If I click away from that table, I no longer see the contextual menu. Same thing with the chart here. If I click on projected sales, now I have a chart design contextual menu. If I click away, I do not have that. So those contextual menus will appear to help you when you are working with certain tasks. Thanks, everybody. See you next time.